Okay, so this is actually a do-over. This is a take two video of my last YouTube live video, which touched on some very sensitive subject matter. And I think for security reasons, which is understandable, YouTube has a policy that I guess if you're YouTube living certain subjects, they kind of stop the stream or whatever, and I didn't know that. So this is going to lack the authenticity it had of my earlier video, but we're going to continue with the subject matter. So without any further ado, we are going to get ourselves a little lively up. Lively up yourself, it don't be no jam. Lively up yourself, because one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. Whoa, 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 I said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So hit me with music, hit me with music, tantalize me, hit me with music, hit me with music. This is Ollie Town Rock, don't watch that. Trenchtown rocks that if you are big fish or spare. Trenchtown rock, you reap what you sow. Trenchtown rock, and only Jaja know. Whoa, 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 I said, one good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So hit me with music, hit me with music, tantalize me, hit me with music, hit me with music. So, today's segue topic that we were doing before YouTube Live, okay, is the subject that's very personal to me. And as I was YouTube living, I was asking people to guess what I was going to be talking about today in the comments, and I think that pushed it over the edge for YouTube. So I'm going to do this again and segue into a topic that's very personal to me. And if I'm going to let you all guess what the subject is, take a look at this. Something my dad made. He-Man is toast. A little note here to send to people. Mike, I'm not sure which Mike, Taro Nuta. I have a good idea which Mike, but and now Exhibit B. Okay? And for those of you who haven't guessed what the subject is, I'm going to give you a 3-second chop the bumbleclot timer. Chop that bumbleclot! Chop that bumbleclot! Chop that blood clot bumbleclot! Okay, if you haven't guessed yet, subject is suicide. Now, I just want to say that no matter how bad it gets and how bad the pain is, there's always somebody who has it worse than you. And I try to tell myself that the pain will go away, it does get better. And I count my blessings each day, because the pain that I feel inside from what my brother has done to my father and I, and going against his last wishes, has been immeasurable. And there are some days I just want the pain to stop, and I want it to go away, and I think of my friends that I've lost, and my family, especially in this past year. And I'd also like to say that I love my brother, and that we should share this place. That's what our dad wanted. We shouldn't be fin polari opposites. We're on the same sea. We're on the same team. And I'm not your enemy. I'm here to help us with prosperity. That's why Dad built this place, for us to make art on this beautiful big blank wall here and make music, and to rent this place out so that when we get older, we have a passive income and something to fall back on, because both of us are not financially stable, and I sacrificed my career and financial situation to take care of my parents, and I wouldn't have had it any other way. And while I did that, my brother pretty much did the opposite, and now thinks that there's going to be some payout. And it's hurt me so deeply, and I often wonder if he's suicidal, because the people who I've tried to help who are suicidal always seem to push you away, want to drag you down with them, want to destroy everything in their path, and make your life as miserable as possible because they feel miserable. And they're very selfish. They often borrow money they can't pay back. They do things that they know are just wrong to get attention. It's in a way of them trying to get people to feel sorry for themselves, that they're the victim here. Now, Andreas is not the victim. He's my sibling, my brother, who's suffering from mental illness, and now because he refused to come to agreement and he didn't decide on what the best thing is to do, which is to save this place, the county's forcing the sale. So I've been pleading with God to touch his heart, to have him change his mind, to tell the county, no, we're going to make an agreement, we can put a bathroom down here, and we can save this place that my dad built for us. And it's been extremely difficult for me to talk about the pain that I've felt, because I've found notes and talked to my dad, and he opted not for suicide. He wrote that he didn't want have his sons see him go out that way, and he was in pain to no end. He had squamous cell carcinoma removed, 2 stem cell transplants, fractures in his spine and his shoulder. He had a round of chemo that they gave him so much methotrexate that he couldn't make red blood cells anymore. And so as much as the immunotherapy worked and cured the cancer, he had to have blood transfusions and could no longer get the immunotherapy and died. Painful death. And right up until the end, I was in charge of monitoring and often administering his pain medication. And I instructed the nurse that he was in so much pain to administer the last lethal dose. And I did this with my mom, me personally, was the primary caregiver for both of them, and gave her the fatal dose of morphine that took her life. And I tell everybody, think about how evil opiates are. Think about all the friends I've known that held the hand of the devil, how warm that feels, and then how coldly they let you go. Hard drugs are a bitch, they're disappointment. They often steal people's willpower because they affect the dopamine within your mind that plays a big role in your decision making. A lot of people don't realize that and they end up with problems and addiction. However, I do feel that everyone has the right to put whatever they want in their body, and even a doctor shouldn't be the one to determine how much pain you're in, or to have the right to decide whether or not you have access to certain types of pain medication, especially opiates. And I'm happy to be opiate free. I take CBD, I try to exercise and stay positive. Emotionally, it's okay to cry. It says it releases toxins, but it's not okay to be depressed and have suicidal thoughts because you think things are so hopeless and the world is so fucked up. It's not. I've been there. I know how that feels, to feel like you're trapped and the world is hopeless and that nobody cares about you. And I will survive. I will get through this. If they take away the house that I built with my father and force more debt upon my brother and I, so be it. There's tons of stuff that I can't afford to put in storage that literally weighs tons. Negatives, photos, and stainless steel cabinets, things that are locked, equipment here that we're better off selling. This $9,000 printer that needs to be fixed, better off fixing it up and redoing the business. This is what my father wanted for us. This was the plan. And I'd be able to feed Andreas profits from the proceeds. Or let him live here. Or we could rent this place out to other people who can help each other and pay the bills and pay the mortgage, and we can move on with our lives. But to see it torn down and taken away only because of some anger and some kind of sick vengeance that he wants to go against my dad's wishes. There's a handwritten will. And I'm going to file an appeal. We're contacting Congress right now because the judge didn't pay enough attention to the other witnesses and the fact that there was 2 other videos to support my dad's last wishes. And they know damn well Andreas is a train wreck, and he's caused so much debt and pain for everyone. And I'm just trying to do the best thing here. I'm not trying to slander his name or put the kid down, but he was a dick to my dad. He dumped this bunch of shit here. We didn't have this free wall to make his art, and I have these videos saying, I just want my studio back. Refuses to remove his shit, pay for storage, pay for the mortgage or anything. And so now they've ceased the successor interest, allowing me to continue to pay the mortgage, and they're going to foreclose on it because the county offered this forced sale. Meanwhile, for the past year and a half, I've been paying the mortgage, doing the maintenance here, and I get a notice that they're authorized to also vacate me. Now, who's going to pay for all the storage, all this stuff? Okay? There's stuff outside. I mean, there's filled with memories here. And that's the most painful fucking thing. Losing your best friend. I lost my dad. Have to your own brother from the same mother betray you, call the police on me, come in here and take my dad's rifles, call cops on me? No. Suicide and killing is not the answer. Sure, killing and violence, it's very easy to kill. Bam! Killed somebody. Okay? Very easy. Squash. You don't know the person, doesn't matter, but you don't do that to your family. You don't do that to your flesh and blood. You don't do that to your friends. And in self-defense, that's one thing if you really have to, but it doesn't solve problems. Violence and killing yourself is not gonna change the situation. So here I am. I'm trying to do the best I can to honor my father's legacy and continue what he gave to me and to us, which is this studio that we built, okay? And all these prints that we made, and all these paintings which belong in a museum, okay? And Andreas, he wants DJ down here. It's loud, it's soundproof. This is a beautifully, specially designed studio. It's not just some shitty house that needs to be torn down. That will wasn't coerced. Those were my dad's last wishes, and he was trying to be so nice about it. Saying, Andreas doesn't, I don't mean to have Andreas cut out of anything, you know? Even though he had to get him fucking thrown out of here so many times as he wouldn't leave. I mean, the kid's troubled, I understand, you know? So when you're depressed, folks, when you feel like you've been violated and there's an injustice, I tell you this. One good thing about music, when it hits you, you feel no pain. So hit me with music, hit me with music, tantalize me, hit me with music, hit me with music. And don't give it up, you got an empty cup. Only love can fill. This is an empty cup, my dear brother Andreas. This is an empty cup, my friends, that only love can fill. Life is filled with trials and tribulations, as you could see, with Premier's Premise and the Trial of Libretto, the two works by my father that are hanging on the wall that I hung with him. We had plans to make so much artwork. There are so many notes here and little hidden things that have been left here for me to discover for the rest of my life and for my children and for our grandchildren and our offspring. Pre-modern post-structural Van Goghism. The crutch title for this is Stringed Instrument for Disabled Viewer. Here, snowflakes on a spider web's pendulum, in and out in vision, hanging from a tree. A lot of subtle innuendos about suicide and death, pain and suffering. My father wasn't abusive, and I hope, Andreas, you understand that he had his asshole cut out and his shit in a plastic bag because he had ulcerative colitis for 14 years. He was on disability. I'm chopping wood, and you're a little kid. You didn't understand. And Mom would have to say to me, because I didn't understand, and I had suicidal thoughts as a kid, because I didn't understand why my dad was yelling at me and didn't want to play with me and the other kids. And Joe had to teach me how to play baseball, among other fucking things. Why I had these other father figures and other men coming here as disciplinarians, because when I was 13, I could kick the crap out of my dad. Okay? He had ulcerative colitis and shit in a bag. Okay? Works his whole life for this house, him and my mom. Not to see you throw it away.
not to see $228,000 owed on a $240,000 house with no equity forcibly sold by the county. Didn't work his whole life for that. To see his wife in 99 be told she has 6 months to live, 6 months cancer. Me, I'm the one who took care of mom. I'm the one who took her to the hospital. Last 3 months of her life, I took my mom every day to radiation. She died holding my hand in 2003, no one else's. She died, my mother died in the room upstairs telling me that my brother couldn't understand how sick she was. And she can't take care of my dad anymore. I took care of my father since I was a kid. I did it right to the end, took care of my mother. My brother kept getting in trouble and take care of anybody, didn't take care of himself. And we kept giving him money, we tried to help him. And now, he seems to think this is a form of harassment. He wants to see there are no consequences. He wants to make up some story that my dad squandered his money in the stock market. That he was a fraud, he cheated. It's all bullshit. He told me the day my dad died, he broke in here and stole a bunch of shit that he could sell instantly and said that he's going to live here for free and my dad's artwork is all bullshit. That's what he told me the day my dad died, instead of coming visit him in the hospital. Now, you want to talk about suicide and pain, death, addiction, opiates. How about losing your freedom? That's a really fucked up one. Why does the caged bird sing? Now, he's charging me with harassment, and the prosecutor and attorneys are telling me, well, your brother should be committed because he's actually harassing you and lying about it. He's actually broken here, done criminal mischief, stolen shit, sold it. Has a history of assaulting me and my father. I don't want to do that to my brother. I would like to save this house, to not have it sold, make a partition, or from an agreement. Here, you want to pay the whole mortgage and all the mains? Here's the keys. January 1st, boom, I'll leave for a year, and then we can talk about fixing up, put another bathroom, separate entrance, and us sharing it. But if he wants to just live here by himself, fine. If not, $1,000 each, $1,000 gets the studio, $1,000 upstairs. Split everything else, utilities, electricity, internet, oil. That's a great deal. Or we could have other people live here for $2,500 a month. 2 people, that's $5,000 and split the money, $2,000 each every month, cash, for the rest of our life. And operate this as a business. And DJ, facility, party, whatever. Place. Boffy Studio, Fine Art Gallery. And if it's not zoned for Airbnb, it's not zoned for that, well, guess what? Vote for me. I'll run for Putnam County Legislature. I don't have a felony. I can run for office. I can file an appeal. As a matter of fact, if I really had a lot of money, I'm sure I could find a way to have every single Republican on every county seat in this town removed, especially if they were appointed by Trump. You know, and I would enact universal solar energy legislation and say, hey, well, you know, Aretha Franklin died with a handwritten California, and that was deemed valid. My father all but disinherited my sibling with a promise made by me that I would give him a fair percentage of any artwork sold because he felt my brother was a threat to the state because he didn't understand the value of it. Just like a lot of people, oh, I don't get it. What is that? What is that supposed to be? I don't get it. What is that? Oh, it's not famous. It's not made by P. Diddy. Huh? It's not made by Kanye. Oh, so it's not cool, right? This is where my brother and I, and my father and I, had tried all together in vain to come to a common ground. Fame is a bullshit trip. Okay? You can get famous for doing all sorts of things. But love lasts forever. And someone like my dad, who made these paintings that are unlike anything else anyone has ever seen, were done with so much time and so much effort and so much energy that they need to be preserved and to be on display and to be protected. And this place was supposed to be for our family, to stay in our family and our legacy. My brother knows what he's doing is wrong. Even the judge said, sorry, it's a very unfortunate situation. He said that after he held up the book and said, tell me where in the book. And I said, well, that book was published before there was a pandemic, and wartime, quote unquote, situations were enacted during the pandemic, and that's why I couldn't get the will notarized, because I'm taking my dad to and from the cancer hospital with no help from my family whatsoever. And thank you to the few students and fans of my dad. Thank you for your help and support. The rest of you, yeah, you're nice, but let's be perfectly honest here. My dad and my mother touched the lives of millions of people. They got so many kids in school. They helped so many people. They lived a very good, virtuous life, the best they could. And they helped a lot of people who sadly could give a shit. They mostly came from very upper class, privileged, well-to-do families in Westchester. Some of them were pissing in the radiators and getting in trouble and kicked out of school. My dad got them into art school and told them it's okay to be different. So to you out there who you know what I'm talking about, if you cared about my dad and you cared about all he stood for, help me save this place. I've offered my brother a cash buyout. I've offered him a partition. I've spent my life savings paying off the IRS debt that my dad had when he died, as well as the bills here and the mortgage. And I've done everything I could to save this place. I even paid for the GoDaddy hosting, the BernardBaffy.net. That's all me. While I'm taking my father to treatment. Doing all these videos and trying to make him food and be happy and shit. Wasn't supposed to be this way. It was supposed to be that my brother calls the cops on me, says that he lives here because he didn't change his driver's license 10 years ago after I got thrown out. I mean, the shit has got to stop. The bullshit, the level of lies and bullshit has got to stop. Death has no fucking mercy. It really doesn't. And I'm not going to let this kill me. Because I'm sure that's what so many people like to see. And you know what? Thank you, Sheriff Department. I know you were concerned about some of my videos. Yeah. I wish you could have seen the YouTube live one that I made earlier today. Well, that was much more authentic. But now I'm feeling much stronger. I'm feeling much better. Fin Polare, folks. Thank you for all the little angels saying nice little things to me. You sweet little things. One kiss is all it takes. Just a kiss away. I said love. It's just a kiss away. I've been walking all day. I've been walking all night. I can't see much difference between the dark and the night. There comes a time when the blind man takes your hand and says, can't you see? We gotta make it somehow. All the dreams we still believe, don't give it up. You've got an empty cup. Only love can fill. Only love can fill. I feel the wind and I taste the rain. Never in my mind to cause so much pain.
There comes a time when the blind man takes your hand, says, can't you see? We gotta make it somehow. On the dreams we still believe. Don't give it up. You got an empty cup. Only love can fill. So, for all you, thank you for taking care of my dad. Now it's time to take care of Ollie. Save my home. And I just want to say thank you. All the little angels that seem to come my way. Because I like me. And I'm with you. This is my home, man. How cool my backyard is. And I've got one more silver dollar that I'm not gonna let him catch me now. I'm not gonna let him catch me now. Thank you kindly for your support.